Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm in Boston at the Parker Hotel at the Starnet Fall Meeting, and I'm with Leah Ledoux, Director of Strategic Accounts at Starnet. Leah, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Kemp. How are you?
I'm good. The first time we interviewed was in Tucson, and I think you'd been with this organization about a week. I think back then some people were in favor of your role and other people were being a little cautious about it, but I'm hearing now that everybody is loving what you're doing so far. So you've won everybody over out here.
Thank you. I'm trying. It's been a very action-packed 6 months. I can say with the amount of presentations that I've given to our various vendor partners, and as I move into really finding out what's needed in the industry, is what I'm realizing is that we are and have the capability of being an excellent turnkey option for our vendor partners. One of the things I like about Starnet is that all the people within the organization are quality. It's all service, service, service. We have the ability to do anything from moisture and mitigation to product sales to product education to floor care. So the bundling that I talked about earlier, I really believe that's the future of Starnet, and that will bring huge growth to strategic accounts.
So in the last 6 months, you've been calling on your vendor partners. You've been calling on some target strategic accounts. That's the two areas you've been focused on, right?
Yes, it is. I've actually had a kind of a two-prong approach to what I'm doing right now. I am working with our vendor partners and speaking at national sales meeting and also meeting with strategic people at our vendor partners. And really what I'm trying to do is get the message of Starnet and what Starnet is down to the local level, to the people in the street that are working and working with our members. And then the other approach is I've been brought into a number of different presentations where I am working with a manufacturer to specify for a national account. And that's where the bundling aspect comes in. The other thing I think that's really interesting and fascinating and also brings growth to our organization is our Business Specifiers and Developers Committee, which started in June, and that's been very exciting also.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because, there's some of your members like R.D. Weiss who have Sherry Gorman, and there are others that just really focus on calling on the end user. So are you trying to get more members to have the Sherry Gorman type role?
Yes, and Sherry Gorman actually is a chair of the Specifiers Committee, and that's definitely what we're trying to do. We came up with a job description that we launched and that the board approved that we sent out to the membership, which really acts as a foundation of helping the members look for individuals for this role. And the specifier really becomes an extension of the manufacturer. We're in the design community. We're working with IIDA or local organizations. We're working on budget pricing with design firms. We're calling on end users. We can talk about installation, maintenance. So it really brings a great value to Starnet. We're hoping to double the amount of specifiers for the end of 2016. So I've been given that goal, but I am very optimistic that we can do this. We've also formed a mentoring program so that we have some senior specifiers that have been in the industry, 15, 20 years, and those individuals can help new specifiers, how to break into a design firm, what are the things to do, what are the events that you can have. So it's been really kind of an education platform for next year.
I saw this morning firsthand what a great relationship with a designer can do when I sat in on Paul Lewandowski's presentation. It was very refreshing to see a designer that actually relies on his Starnet relationship on almost any project he's working on because he feels like it's an unbiased versus a mill rep, which is only going to talk about their product. He likes the objectivity of working with a Starnet contractor because it helps him get the job done and helps him specify the right product. So I thought that was real refreshing.
Yes, it is. I've worked with Paul for a number of years, and Paul also has an excellent relationship with Paul White Tile in Maine. And really the beauty of what a member can offer a designer or an architect is the ability to not only budget and price out a number of different products that are unbiased, but can also give real live pricing. Within Paul's presentation, he talked about some issues that happens on job sites, and all those things can be avoided when you involve a member in the beginning of those types of projects. So that's a great example of an excellent relationship where a member and a architect are working hand in hand, and there's a lot of communication.
All right, one of the things I think some people were worried about when they first heard about this role is that they thought you were going to go out there and be selling labor-only jobs. I think they're finding out now that while there may be an occasional national account that's only looking for that, you're not trying to drive business that direction, are you?
We're not, but we are looking at all opportunities. Knowing what I know today after 6 months, there is such an untapped business opportunity for strategic accounts and our Starnet members. And uncovering those opportunities are not difficult. We have done and completed several labor-only opportunities, and one has turned into a materials purchase. So, I can honestly say that every opportunity is different. We've written a major RFP for a huge account within the states. We've supplied labor-only and union labor and non-union. And we've also specified a number of different projects within design communities because, the other thing that I think we bring to the table, which we'll talk about more, I think, in the next year, is that there are a lot of designers, such as in Boston, that work on projects in Canada, in California, overseas. And we have the ability to link our members in that location up with this design firm, also to work with them to get those projects completed. So it's really about Starnet and try to educate not only the design community, but the end users on really how we can be one of the best turnkey options in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know I have some competition listening to this, so I'm not going to ask you about some major wins that you've had in the last 6 months, but there have been some, and so I think a lot of the members are seeing where you're actually helping to bring some business to them, right?
Yes, that's correct. And, we're already expanding a little bit on the things that we're going to be offering. The structure of this model for our strategic account program will be made up of members that currently work in national and strategic accounts in the healthcare and retail and hospitality design segments. And as we go into the next year, Eric, who runs the floor care, and myself will be doing global shop and hospitality and design and a lot of different shows that currently we have not done in the past. So we're hoping that Starnet becomes more of a brand and more commonly used for a lot of end users.
We talked in the last interview about your past. You've worked for a manufacturer before. You've worked for a commercial contractor before. You've worked for a distributor. Now you take this role on. You've been doing it for 6 months. Is this a good career move for you so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been really happy. It's been challenging, and I know firsthand one of the things that I think that really works with this career move for me is that I came from a flooring contractor background. I feel that experience really was a great foundation for me. Looking back on things, this is a real creative role. You've got to be out there. You've got to be selling the brand. You've got to be selling the services. So having that experience earlier on in my career has been very helpful.
All right. Well, it's great to catch up with you, and congratulations on your first 6 months. It sounds like things are going well. Again, we've been talking to Leah Ledoux, the Director of Strategic Accounts at Starnet, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.